Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at something I think many creative people run into, that big, ambitious artistic idea. Whether it's music, an exhibit, a personal story you want to tell, and then you hit that wall.
Yeah, the practicalities, funding, who you even talk to, the logistics, it can feel overwhelming.
Exactly. It can stop great ideas dead in their tracks.
Hmm.
But what if there was like a dedicated bridge over that gap?
It's a real challenge. The traditional ways of getting new music, especially off the ground, are often fragmented, kind of complex. Lots of potential just fizzles out.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We've been looking at Santiago Veros' program, his documentation, case studies, and how his patronage program is designed to be that very bridge in music.
Right.
So our mission here is to unpack how this program carves out clear paths for, well, three quite different kinds of clients, making sure their vision gets the support it needs to actually happen,
Yeah.
to become real music.
And what's really interesting, I think, from the materials is how it's not just about plugging a funding hole. It seems to fundamentally re-engineer the whole relationship
How so?
between the patrons, the artists, the institutions.
Yeah.
Instead of complex grant forms or slow commissions, it streamlines things, focuses on getting the right people together and making it happen quickly. That's a big shift.
A paradigm shift, almost.
Yeah,
For cultural projects, maybe working on tight deadlines.
you could say that. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great way to frame it. So let's kick things off with the first group, institutions, big brands, companies. Santiago calls this the turnkey solution,
Yeah, this part tackles a really specific niche. These big organizations, they often have the budget, right? And a clear idea for a memorable event.
like a new museum wing opening or a festival launch.
Or even a major product launch where they want something unique, something artistic. They know the impact they want.
Got it. They've got the money, the big picture concept. But, and here's the interesting part you mentioned, they often lack the specific artistic Rolodex.
Exactly, or the internal team to manage integrating high-quality original music smoothly. They're not just looking for someone to give money to. They need a whole artistic solution, start to finish.
Concept to curtain call, basically.
Precisely. They might imagine, this amazing atmosphere, but how do you find the right composer for that? Let alone find and coordinate a professional choir, manage rehearsals, sort out the tech.
Right.
The case studies had a great example, a planetarium. They wanted this exhibition about stars and galaxies, visually stunning, but they wanted it brought alive with live choral music.
Wow. Okay, that's ambitious.
Very. And that kind of specific high-level artistic integration, that's incredibly tough for most institutions to pull off themselves.
I can imagine. A planetarium with a live choir? That sounds incredibly powerful. Gives the cosmos a voice, almost. It really shows how music can just elevate something, doesn't it?
It really does.
So Santiago steps in here as the complete artistic director, offering this turnkey solution, as he calls it, everything ready to go. He manages it all, from their initial idea to the final performance. But how does that actually work, step by step? What's the process?
It seems very structured. It starts with what they call exploration and vision, basically a deep conversation. The institution shares the core idea, the theme, dates, budget range.
But focusing on the feeling, the concept, not the musical technicalities.
Exactly. They don't need music theory. They just need to explain the experience they want to create.
Okay, so they paint the picture, and then Santiago translates that into music during the artistic conceptualization phase.
Right. He takes that vision and proposes a musical concept that doesn't just, fit, but actively enhances it.
Like for the planetarium.
Yeah, for the planetarium, maybe it's a choral piece evoking cosmic vastness. Or, say, a library wants to honor a poet, he might suggest setting their poems to music, giving the words a whole new dimension.
Making the music truly part of their story.
Bespoke, integral, yes.
Okay, vision locked in. Then comes management and production. Santiago takes the reins.
Completely. He composes the piece specifically for them. Then he uses his network to find and coordinate a professional choir, probably one located near the event.
Smart.
Sets up rehearsals, handles all the technical production for the premiere. It really is, like you said, soup to nuts.
The whole package.
The real value for these institutions, then, isn't just the music itself, though that's huge. It's the peace of mind.
Knowing an expert's got it covered.
Totally.
Yeah.
They skip the headache of finding a composer, vetting choirs, hiring directors. They just get the connector who pulls it all together for this amazing, unique event, a world premiere even. That's massive cultural value.
Makes their event unforgettable, presumably.
That's the goal.
It does sound incredibly comprehensive. But, coordinating all that top Musicians, venues, any project like that must have potential hiccups. Does the documentation mention challenges like artistic differences, last-minute logistics?
That's a fair point. Artistic projects always have moving parts. What the info suggests is that while the initial vision alignment is usually strong, the main challenge is often the sheer complexity of scheduling.
Juggling everyone's calendar.
Exactly, especially for big events with top-tier talent. But that's where Santiago's network comes in. Having those pre-vetted relationships means he can often find good alternatives quickly if someone's unavailable. His deep contact list is key.
Right, his Rolodex, as you put it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Huge value for institutions.
Yeah.
Now, let's shift gears. Let's talk about choirs, universities, directors. They often have the passion, the talent, but hit that funding wall.
A very common story.
How does Santiago's program work for them? It's more than just composing, right? It acts as a catalyst.
Yes. This part of the program addresses something really widespread in the choral world. You have these amazing choirs, university groups, community choirs, church choirs, tons of passion, often really high skill levels.
Yeah.
But their regular budgets often don't stretch to the big, ambitious stuff.
Right. You hear about them dreaming of making a professional recording or going on a major tour or maybe commissioning a piece from a well-known composer.
But it just stays a dream. Because it's not just the money itself, it's the time. It's knowing who to ask, understanding philanthropy.
The directors are artists, usually not full-time fundraisers.
Precisely. Their focus is musical, not navigating grant applications or finding patrons. So these amazing artistic visions often just stall. They get stuck behind that financial barrier.
Okay, so Santiago's program steps in as a catalyst. How? What does that mean in practice, beyond him just writing the music?
It means his crucial role here is actually finding the funding that allows the piece to even exist.
So he's not just the composer, he's the fundraiser, in a way.
Or maybe the matchmaker. The process is framed as carefully aligning the choir's project with a suitable patron. It's a coordinated effort.
A matchmaker. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
How does that matching process unfold? Seems like it would need a delicate touch.
It does. It starts with the director's vision. The choir director comes to him with their idea. Maybe it's a piece for their 50th anniversary, or a work based on a specific theme for a tour, or that album they can't afford.
Okay, they bring the artistic concept.
Then comes what Santiago calls the connector's bridge. And he finds a patron whose own interests and values genuinely align with what the choir wants to do.
So it's not just asking anyone for money, it's finding the right fit, like a cultural investment proposal.
Exactly. That alignment is key. Once he finds that patron and they're on board, the patron makes the donation. But here's the important part. The donation goes directly to the institution that hosts the choir.
Like the university or the church or the foundation running the community choir.
Precisely. That ensures transparency, it's clean, and crucially, it usually allows the patron to get tax benefits.
Which is often a major motivator in philanthropy.
So the money is secured with the institution. Everyone knows where it is. Then the choir can formally contract Santiago to write the piece.
And boom, the funding wall is gone. The art can happen. That must be incredibly empowering for those choirs.
It is. The value is huge. They get an original work, tailor-made for them, but they also get a potential model for how to fund future projects.
Right, they learn from the process.
And they get connected through the program to this world of philanthropy that might have seemed inaccessible before. It helps them move from just ambition to actual professional production. It's a blueprint for growth, not just a one-off.
That's fantastic. Okay, let's turn to the third path. This one feels, I don't know, really intimate. Crafting legacies for individual patrons.
Yes, this is perhaps the most personal aspect of the program. It taps into that very human urge to leave something lasting, to mark something significant.
People carry these deep stories, don't they? Memories of loved ones, celebrating a marriage, maybe a lifelong passion for nature or art.
Exactly, and they have this desire to honor that experience, maybe make it public, give it some kind of permanence.
But again, there's that gap. How on earth do you turn a cherished memory into a piece of music? Who do you trust? How do you handle the money side, the tax deductions? Who makes sure it actually gets performed?
Right. It's not obvious at all. Most people wouldn't know where to begin. It's a very specific need.
So Santiago's program becomes the channel for that, the vehicle for transcendence, as the notes put it.
Yes. And his role here is described as something more than just a composer. He's called an artisan of stories.
Ooh, I like that. Artisan of stories, meaning he really digs into the narrative.
It implies a deep collaborative process. It's not just about setting words to music, it's about understanding the emotional core of the patron's story and crafting a musical legacy from it.
So how does that work? It starts with the personal story, obviously. The patron shares their narrative. Maybe it's about their grandmother or the place they grew up, or even, like the example, a childhood dog.
Could be anything deeply meaningful to them. And Santiago's job first is just to listen, to really understand the nuances, the feelings behind the story.
To find the musical essence within it. That sounds like it requires a lot of empathy.
Definitely. He needs to find the universal elements or the unique details that music can express. Melody, harmony, rhythm become the language for that story. It's about immortalizing those emotions, giving voice to memory, a real translation process.
Okay, so he absorbs the story, understands it deeply, then comes the creation of the work. He composes the piece inspired by that narrative,
Correct.
but the personal connection doesn't stop there. His role as the connector is vital again for the link with the institution.
Yeah.
Right, because the patron probably wants tax benefits, so the money can't just go straight to Santiago.
Exactly. This is crucial. He takes responsibility for finding the right performance outlet, a choir, maybe a university music department, a community ensemble that aligns with the project and can receive the donation properly.
So if the story was about, say, their time at a specific university,
He'd likely contact a choir at that university to receive the funds and premiere the piece. It creates this wonderful synergy.
it makes perfect sense. It benefits everyone.
Yeah.
The patron gets their legacy and the tax deduction. The choir gets a new piece in funding. The institution gets a cultural boost. It's structured, not just a private commission.
Right. It elevates it to a public cultural contribution.
And then finally, the legacy. Donation made, contract signed, the music comes alive. The patron hasn't just paid for a piece, they've woven their personal story into the cultural fabric.
It gets performed on a public stage. Their story lives on through music. That's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, the value there seems immense. Not just owning a piece of art, but being part of its creation. Knowing your story resonates publicly. A permanent mark.
It's a profound outcome, ensuring your narrative isn't just remembered, but actively felt and experienced by future audiences.
Okay, so we've looked at these three distinct avenues. Institutions needing that turnkey service, choirs needing the funding catalyst, and individuals wanting to craft a personal legacy through music. What's the common element here? What really defines Santiago Veros' program across all three?
I think the synthesis is really clear. It's Santiago himself in that specific role, el connector, the connector.
Right.
He's not just the composer, although obviously his music is the foundation. His unique position is being the crucial link, the person who connects the dots.
Connecting patrons to choirs.
Conti's company.
By the artistic production they need.
And personal stories to the resources and stages to bring them to life.
Exactly. He's the linchpin.
That's it. He's actively breaking down the walls that usually stop these kinds of projects. It shows what happens when, passion meets a really smart strategy.
Absolutely. The program really embodies that idea of being a bridge, creating a clear pathway from just an idea or a story to actual living music.
Turning the seemingly impossible into something tangible, enriching the whole cultural scene while doing it. Yeah, it's quite an innovative model.
It really is an incredible scope and impact when you lay it all out. Systematically taking down barriers for musical creation, for collaborations, for these really personal legacies. It's kind of reimagining patronage, isn't it?
It definitely moves beyond just writing a check. It's an active, structured framework for making art happen and helping culture grow.
So listening to all this, it makes you wonder, what vision, what story, what ambition do you have tucked away that maybe music could give voice to? What kind of mark would you want to leave?
It's a powerful thought, isn't it? Thinking about our own potential contributions and how music might express something words can't quite capture.
Well, for anyone listening who's inspired by this, maybe wants to learn more or even explore how their own ideas could potentially fit into this kind of program, you can find details on the website. It's santiagoveros.sitepatrons.
Let me spell that out. santiagoveros.site/patrons.
Perfect. A really fascinating look at an innovative solution to a long-standing creative challenge.
Indeed. Providing a clear path forward for those artistic dreams.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.